it's my pleasure to welcome all of you to the very first Hilliard Lyons Teacher Excellence Award program, where we will honor outstanding teachers and principals from our Jefferson County Public Schools. 10 individuals and 5 groups will be recognized by Hilliard Lyons, and 6 additional individuals will be recognized, 1 each, by the YMCA of Greater Louisville, Fund for the Arts, Audwin and Ray Helton, Ernst & Young, the Metro United Way, and Junior Achievement. I want to thank these award sponsors right up front tonight for their tremendous support. In addition to these distinguished honorees, we have some very special guests this evening. Congressman John Yarmuth, Mayor Greg Fisher, U of L President Jim Ramsey, and Superintendent Donna Hargens. You'll have the opportunity to hear from each of them. I would like to welcome several members of our school board who are here in attendance tonight as well. In fact, I'd like each of you to stand and be recognized. Please stand. I would also like to recognize the members of the Jefferson County Public Education Foundation Board who are in attendance. Please stand and be recognized. Finally, I would like to ask my Hilliard Lyons colleagues to stand. We are so proud to be part of this event and as an organization, and I'd like to have that crowd be recognized. I think that we can all agree that our schools and the students that they produce are critical to the future of our community. The incredible impact that teachers and principals can have on the lives of our students is immeasurable. Tonight, we want to recognize and thank a select group of teachers and principals for delivering on behalf of our public schools and the many students whose lives have been touched by their passion, commitment, and caring. Like any selection process, we had a number of outstanding nominations and tough choices had to be made. The selection committee was impressed by both the quantity and quality of nominees. In addition, a process like this always provides interesting insight into the depth and breadth of JCPS programming, which only reinforces the need to acknowledge and celebrate the success that accompanies this very challenging work. Tonight you'll hear numerous references to Strategic Plan Vision 2015, which is the district's exciting strategic plan. I encourage you to visit the JCPS website and review the JCPS roadmap for the future.
We had the opportunity this evening to have Congressman John Yarmuth join us. U.S. Representative John Yarmuth represents Kentucky's 3rd Congressional District in the U.S. House of Representatives. In his 4th term, Congressman Yarmuth was appointed to the Committee on Budget, on which he is the 3rd ranking Democrat, and the Committee on Education and Workforce. He has been recognized for his work to improve education, revitalize manufacturing in Louisville, and advance economic security for American families. Born and raised in Louisville, Congressman Yarmuth graduated from Atherton High School, where he served as student government president. He went on to earn a degree in American Studies from Yale University, and he and his wife Kathy have 1 son, Aaron, who graduated from Indiana University in 2006 and obtained a master's degree from American U in 2010. We all appreciate Congressman Yarmuth's leadership, along with his strong commitment to education and its importance to the future of our community. So it's my pleasure to introduce Congressman John Yarmuth. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you very much, Jim, and thanks so much to Hilliard Lyons for doing what we all should be doing, which is to honor the people who are educating our children and who really hold the future of our country in their hands. Thank you so much, and also to Spencer Coates of Houchins Industries, the parent of Hilliard Lyons, for their commitment as well. Thanks to the school board members who work every day. They have to stand for election like I do. They have a little bit different dynamic going on, and generally they labor without even the notoriety that we sometimes get and often try to avoid. But they're laboring very, very hard every day, and I so greatly appreciate their work. Donna Hargens, thank you so much for everything you do, the leadership you provide at JCPS. Jim actually, he didn't forget it. The bio doesn't say it, but my son Aaron's master's degree from American University is in teaching. So I am very, very appreciative, especially appreciative of those of you in this room who have given your lives to teaching. I've been in Congress now 6 years and 4 months. Who's counting? And I've been in about 150 schools here, and there's absolutely nothing that I enjoy more than going into schools, going into the classrooms, seeing the incredible work that's being done every day, meeting with the students. I get to read to students some of the strangest books that you can possibly imagine. But my favorite is Duck for President. Those of you in the classroom know it well. But, you know, I'm on the Education Committee, as Jim said, and in my first term, I was also on the Education Committee, and we spent almost the entire Congress trying to reform No Child Left Behind and trying to create an environment where federal support was also not a federal straitjacket. We haven't succeeded yet. We still are on that mission, and we still need to work in that area because no matter how important federal support may be, it's still only about 10% of the funding that goes to finance education in this country. And more importantly, what we all recognize in Washington, regardless of which side of the aisle we're on, is that the people who really know best about how to educate our kids and the challenges that our children face every day are the men and women in the classrooms, the principals, the staff. There's never been a more apt description of being in the trenches than when we talk about our educators. More recently, we've seen that teachers can also be in harm's way, both at Sandy Hook and in Moore, Oklahoma. So we not only trust the intellectual growth of our children, we also trust their safety and health to our educators. And so every opportunity I have to say thank you and bless you to our educators, I want to do that. So tonight I say thank you and bless you. Congratulations to all the award recipients. There is no one who is more respectful of what you do than I am. And please know that in Washington, while we may debate on a highly animated way and a partisan way, educators, there is broad bipartisan understanding of the incredible service that our educators provide this country. So thank you very much. Thanks for letting me just say bless you, and congratulations again to all the award winners.
It's now my privilege to introduce Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher this evening. I know that Mayor Fisher has a very busy schedule, but made the point to rearrange things to be with us this evening. Mayor Fisher places such a high priority on education, and it's an honor to have you join us this evening. And thank you for not running any red lights to get here tonight. But anyhow, Greg, come on up. Thank you.
No, I really want to thank Jim Allen and the whole Hilliard Lyons team, Pete Mehern, Spencer, that have placed so much passion into this event. Jim and I have been talking about it for several months, and he, in his role as the president of Jefferson County Public Education Foundation, is passionate about how can we celebrate the folks that do so much good work here in our community day in and day out. So, Jim, thanks for the vision for tonight, and then the persistence of following through as well. A couple of things when Jim talks about my passion about education. I hope you guys see that in the community. I think one of the roles of the mayor should be the conscience of the community for education. Certainly we're plowing forward with 55,000 degrees. You're going to be hearing from President Ramsey later tonight. I'm sure he's going to be speaking about the importance of that for the community and the great job that U of L is doing, Bellarmine, Spalding, JCTC. We're all in this together as we know we have to position ourselves to be a 21st century city, to be a city that values and celebrates and achieves education at the highest levels. So that's one of the key things that I've been focused on, is lifelong learning. We set a first goal of how can we be an even more compassionate city. We were in this room with the Dalai Lama about 12 years ago, or 12 days ago, on our compassion journey, and we've been named an international model city of compassion. Of course, we've got a great global reputation for being the most compassionate city in the world now. And that's something that just didn't happen, obviously, in the last couple of years. It's always been in everybody's heart, so we appreciate that. I want you all to know that our #1 partner in compassion is Jefferson County Public Schools. One of the reasons why we've received so much notoriety in this area of compassion is because of the success we've had as a community with our Give a Day week of service. And who knew that when we started this thing, this past year, our second year, we had over 107,000 volunteers and acts of compassion throughout that week. 50,000 of those came from JCPS administrators, teachers, and students. So there is no way we could be proclaiming that we have the world record for compassion if it wasn't for JCPS. So the work that Superintendent Hargens is doing with the whole team to focus their kids at an early age on service learning and how we're all connected as citizens is extraordinarily valuable capital for our community. So Donna, we appreciate that very much, and the leadership role that you play there. We all use the term a city of lifelong learning now. We know that whether you're 8 years old or 98 years old, we've got to keep learning to add value in this world, especially if you're in the workforce. It's something that we all have got to do every day. So how do we encourage this love of learning? You guys in this room are really the heroes and the heroines that bring that out every day. You do it through the passion that you bring to the classroom or to the school, but you clearly are demonstrating what lifelong learning is all about. Earlier today, there's some circularity here with Donna and I and a few others. We talked about our out-of-school time kickoff for the summer and the importance. We know so much more now about what's required to be competitive. So one of these things is the value of out-of-school time. If you're from an advantaged family, you're learning basically 365 days a year. If you're from a family that doesn't have as many resources, you might be learning half of those days. Well, folks, we know that when you start kindergarten, how far you're behind, much less where you're at 3rd grade, 6th grade, 10th grade. So we started the day earlier with out-of-school time and kicking off the great work that we've got going on this summer with out-of-school time activity. So now we're here tonight and talking about learning and reinventing as well. I wanted to just share a quote with you because I think it's particularly appropriate on what we're trying to do here as a city. Probably a lot of fans of Thomas Friedman in here. He was writing about a fellow named Tony Wagner, and Tony's the author of The Global Achievement Gap and Creating Innovators. And it's kind of a twist what Superintendent Hargens has been putting on what the mission of JPS is. But Friedman was talking about, given the pace of the change of the world that we live in right now, even if you're a recent college grad and you're lucky enough to get a job, we all know that if you're not prepared to reinvent and re-engineer and reimagine the job, your shelf life in terms of adding value to your employer might be 5 years or so because of the pace of change. So one of the things that Tony Wagner said, he said, our goal can't be just to make every child college ready, but we need to make every child innovation ready. Okay, so to embrace this concept of continually reinventing ourselves, and we know the cities that are going to win in the 21st century are cities that have embraced innovation that have 21st century economies versus those kind of holding on to the old model of the 20th century model of economic development. The innovation cities are going to pass them by. So in Louisville, we're fortunate to have people that are embracing the message of innovation, whether it's through 55,000 degrees, and it's not just the degrees, it's the type of degrees as well, so that we need to have this culture of innovation. Core of strong teachers and administrators that are being honored here tonight. There's not one of you all that's not both passionate and innovative because of the challenges that you face day in and day out. And why I love what JCPS is doing is that, yes, we have been under the microscope from various constituencies. There's no question about that. But you guys have not run away from any of that attention. You've said, here's the data. The data doesn't lie. We've got a great team of people that are working very hard every day. We're improving at the same time. How can you not do anything but support people like that? And what I say to people is it's easy to be a critic. It's much harder to get off the couch and say, how can I help? And there's more people in the community that are doing that every day. Superintendent Hargens does not flinch from saying we will be the best large public, urban public school district in the country. We may not be there today, but that's our goal. And here's what the data is. Here's how we're going to help. Now, we got plenty of work to do please come help us. So I love how you guys embrace best in country and that you get after it with data and you get after it with passion. You'll continue to have a strong partner from my office, believe me. To our honorees, just in closing, I want to thank you again for your all's commitment and passion. You don't do this work to make a lot of money. I get it. It's kind of like public service of any kind. But you do it because you have the heart and the soul for our kids that obviously are what it's all about. But what I really appreciate is that I believe that everybody is born with joy in learning, right? When you see little kids, they're trying to say their first word, they want to read. You know, sometimes people are lucky and they get to keep joy in learning their whole life. And then a lot of times our job is to rekindle the joy in learning for folks that have lost it somewhere along the way. But for the honorees, there is no question that you all have done a tremendous job in every day of making this joyful spirit move forward for our community. So on behalf of the citizens of Louisville, I want to say thank you very much. Thanks again to the Hilliard Lyons team for making this night possible. And I look forward to further celebration here this evening. So thanks, everybody.
When we had the idea and the inclination to pursue a Teacher Excellence Awards program and thought about how we would want to have the evening presented and represented, the initial thought that came to mind for a keynote speaker was Jim Ramsey, for a couple of reasons. Number one, the fact that he's done such an incredible job at the University of Louisville. Obviously, the role that the University of Louisville on right now is just incredible, whether it's in the academic front or whether it's on the athletic side. Everything is headed in the right direction under Jim's leadership. Of course, we'll be hosting round one of the NCAA baseball playoffs out at Jim Patterson Stadium tomorrow. So it was a natural that Jim would be our keynote speaker, and he readily accepted. And the fact that he's doing it is really further enhanced because he grew up in a household with teachers who were both parents. So I thought he was eminently qualified to deliver a message on the importance of teachers and to recognize all of you. Just to give you a little bit of a formal background, actually I picked this thing up at a University of Louisville event. The University of Louisville's 17th president, Dr. James R. Ramsey, has led the university through a time of dramatic change. President since November of 2002, Ramsey's tenure has been marked by unprecedented improvements in the quality of incoming students, graduation rates, prestigious student awards, research and faculty accomplishments, and philanthropy. Dr. Ramsey is an economist who is a frequent national speaker and writer on economic issues. He has received numerous awards, including the Greater Louisville, Inc. Silver Fleur-de-Lis in 2012 and in 2011, Ad Federation of Louisville's Louisvillian of the Year Award in 2010, Business First Leader of the Year in 2007, National Governors Association Outstanding Public Service Award in 2001, and Kentucky's Distinguished Economist of the Year in 1999. Before assuming U of L's top post, Ramsey served as Senior Policy Advisor and State Budget Director for the Commonwealth of Kentucky and Senior Professor of Economics and Public Policy at U of L. He has held administrative and faculty positions at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, Western Kentucky University, Loyola University, the University of Kentucky, and Middle Tennessee State University. Jim, it's really an honor and pleasure to have you here this evening. Thank you very much.
And I want to thank Hilliard Lyons. I want to thank all of our sponsors for this very special evening and for their support of this very special evening. I'm going to brag a little bit more on Hilliard Lyons. Hilliard Lyons is a company that has a great history in our Commonwealth, throughout the Commonwealth. It's been in business for about 160 years in our state. And when you look around at all the public projects, and many private projects, but particularly my area, one of my areas was in municipal finance, public policy. And when you look around at many of the public projects that have been financed in our community and state, Hilliard Lyons has been a part of that. And I worked on a project in 1981. I'm turned around a little bit. I guess it's down this way. One of the first deals that I ever worked on from a public finance perspective was the financing of the Kentucky Center for the Arts, and I worked with Hilliard Lyons and a guy named Rudy Bauer. And some of you all, Jim, remember Rudy. And Hilliard Lyons has a great history, and as companies go through their evolution, sometimes they're attractive to other firms. And at one point in Hilliard Lyons' history, it was purchased by an out-of-state firm, and it continued to play a vital role in our community and in our state. When that company decided that it was time to move on and to go a different direction, and they were selling Hilliard Lyons, there was a chance that Hilliard Lyons would actually become owned by an out-of-country company. And we're very thankful that that did not happen, and it didn't happen for really two reasons. One, Houchins and Pete Mahurin and Spencer Coates stepping forward and realizing what a great asset we had, and it also didn't happen because of Jim Allen and his leadership and his integrity. And I'd tell you, if it were not for Houchins and if it were not for Hilliard Lyons, the building that you're sitting in right now would not have happened. This building was being financed in the height of the economic downturn, the meltdown in the credit markets, and the lead banker was a Wall Street firm, Goldman Sachs. They couldn't get the deal done, but Hilliard Lyons got it done. So won't you all stand up and let us thank you. To me, nothing is more special than being a teacher. It's already been said. My dad taught at Fern Creek. My mom taught at Fern Creek in Seneca. My sister taught at Bates Elementary. My aunt taught at Southern High School and taught at Westport High School. My wife was a teacher. The only teaching I really ever did in the Jefferson County Public Schools is when I got off active duty, and before I went to graduate school. I was a substitute teacher, so I've probably been to every one of your schools at one time or another. All I ever wanted to be was a teacher. And when I went to undergraduate, I was intrigued with economics. And back in those days, there really wasn't economics in high schools. And so if I was going to be a teacher and be a faculty member, I really needed to get my advanced degree and do that at the higher education level. And so Jim went through a list of the different schools where I've been on the faculty. And my wife feels like we've been in the Army, and she's a military spouse. We moved around so much. But sometimes in higher education, you do that as you move from assistant to associate to full. But the one thing that I love, and I've really felt and still feel that probably the only thing I was ever any good at was teaching, and I miss it today. I'd always felt that I was going to finish my career back in the classroom, but I'm getting so now that I don't think they'll let me back in the classroom. My skills, they tell me, are way too eroded to be effective. But there's no question that I'm biased, and my bias is that education today is more important than it's ever been. We live in a changing economy, a world economy, a global economy, a knowledge-based economy. If you look at some of the great companies of this era, companies that have come on the scene in recent years, companies like Apple and Microsoft and Lincoln and Facebook and Google and on and on and on. They're companies that were created because of someone's imagination. And human capital is the most important input into the production process today. The jobs of today are very different than the jobs of yesterday, and we don't even know what the jobs of the future are going to be. And so I believe that education is more important today than it's ever been. But I believe we who are in the academy or who are in education face a lot of challenges, and certainly financial challenges face all of us. We've been through the worst recession since the Great Depression in the 1930s. We're coming out of it. We're coming slowly out of it. But what that's meant for most of us are budget cuts. We face challenges with regard to our integrity. And school districts face that very often. We in higher education, because of Penn State and because of great schools like Tulane, Bucknell, and other schools falsifying data so that they could move up in the rankings of U.S. News and World Report, creates challenges for all of us. We're challenged as to whether or not we're accountable enough. We're challenged as to whether or not we're productive. We're challenged as to our delivery methods of instruction, particularly in higher education. Everyone's trying to figure out what's going on with the massive open online courses that different institutions are offering, and the proprietary institutions, and the whole issue of online education. So we face a lot of challenges, but I continue to believe that if we as a community and if we as a state are to move forward, that we've got to continue to invest in education. Kentucky is a great state. It's my native state. I love Kentucky. We moved around. We were out of state, came back to Louisville, came back home to Kentucky in 1999. And it hurts me to say some of the things I'm about to say about our home state. But look at our economy and look at our per capita personal income in Kentucky. Per capita personal income in Kentucky, that's the average income per person in this room. We went around, add up everybody's income and divide by the number of people. The per capita income in Kentucky is 81% of the national average. We should do better for our children than that. They shouldn't earn 81 cents when people in other states are earning $1. During the recession that started in 2007, 2008, Kentucky lost 120,000 jobs. We've added back 85,000 of those jobs, but that still means there are 35,000 people, fewer people working today than there were in 2007. We face healthcare challenges. You know, we're very proud of the fact that the University of Louisville has had a great athletic year. And when you look at the rankings, everybody likes rankings and everybody talks about rankings on Facebook and so forth. But we were ranked number 1 in basketball. We were men's basketball. We were ranked number 2 in women's basketball. We were ranked number 3 in football. But here's some rankings we're not very proud of. Kentucky ranks 50th in the number of people who smoke. First would be the fewest, 50 would be the most. 40th in obesity, 43rd in sedentary lifestyles, 41st in diabetes, 50 in cancer deaths, 49th in cardiac heart disease, 43rd in high cholesterol, 44th in annual dental visits, and 48th in heart attacks. We've got to do better than that, and we need to provide our young people an opportunity to economic opportunity and the quality of life, and we need to do more about our health in this state. We need to do more about many of the social issues we face: teen pregnancy, childhood abuse, number of children living in poverty. And I continue to believe that education is the key to addressing these economic, these healthcare, and these social services. And that if we invest in education, we will be able to deal with these issues. Study after study, empirical study after empirical study, has talked about the relationship between, and proven the relationship between education and the level of education in a community and the quality of life within that community. The most recent study is one that's been done by the Millikan Institute. And I'll pause for a moment and tell you a little bit about the Millikan Institute. It's named for a guy named Michael Millikan. And the Hilliard Lyons people remember Michael Millikan. He was a junk bond dealer for a company called Drexel Burnham. And it's a company that was a Wall Street firm. They don't exist anymore. The Burnham part of that business, the family, Burnham family, were actually the people who were benefactors to Burnham Forest here in Kentucky. So there's a Kentucky connection between the old Drexel Burnham firm in Kentucky. But Mike Millikan made his living and did very well selling what were called fallen angels or junk bonds. And he did some things that he shouldn't have done. And so he spent time in prison, federal prison. And while in federal prison, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And when he got out of prison, he said, I really don't want to be remembered as someone who did all these bad things, so I'm going to create this institute. And he created the Millikan Institute in Santa Monica, California. And one of the things that they've done is to establish the National Educator of the Year Award, the $25,000 prize that is awarded every year. And we in Kentucky have had one of those winners. Some of you may remember Tom Boyson, our first commissioner of education after the CARA reforms were passed in 1990. When Tom Boyson left Kentucky, he went to work for the Millikan Institute. But the Millikan Institute has done a lot of work in the area of the impact of education, particularly on the economy. And I could go through, as an econometrician, statistician, a lot of the data and a lot of the percentage increases that result in spending, gross domestic product, income as a result of investment in education. But let me read you the conclusions of the most recent Milken study that was done, that was released in the last several months. There's a strong positive relationship between educational attainment and regional economic prosperity. The purpose of this study is to inform policymakers, educators, business executives, and civic leaders about the importance of boosting investment in education in their regions. And that's just one study. I could go through study after study. And yet, in Kentucky, since 2008, in 2008 to the end of this biennium, 2014, we've been through, again, the worst economic time since pre-World War II, since the Great Depression. But yet, our state general fund, the income tax, sales tax, the revenues that come into the state and fund government operations have increased from 2008 to 2014, or will through 2014, by 3%. We've increased spending on our public pensions by 60%. Think about that. Revenues have gone up 3%, but we're spending 60% more on our public pensions. We're spending 40% more on Medicaid. We're spending 30% more on debt service, 20% more on corrections. SEEK has been cut. Higher education at the University of Louisville and University of Kentucky has been cut 15%. In Kentucky, we spend today $21,000 per prisoner in our correctional system. We spend on average $9,000 per student in K through 12, $6,000 per student in higher education. Education is the key to our future, but our priorities are backwards. We believe that if our public policymakers would stay singularly focused on 4 public policy priorities, we could move this state forward economically in terms of health care and social services. And those priorities are education, 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 and education. Early childhood education, K through 12 education, post-secondary education, and adult lifelong learning. And you in this room are the key. You're the centerpiece. You're the heart and soul of our education system, because what's important is what happens in the classroom. I tell our faculty at the University of Louisville the very same thing. I tell them, I'm corporate overhead. I don't generate 1 student credit hour. I don't generate 1 research dollar. It's what happens in the classroom that is important. And that's why we're here tonight, to honor you, to applaud you, and to most importantly say thank you for your commitment, for your service, and all you do. You are special. First and foremost, you are educators, but you're so much more. You're advisors, you're counselors, you're disciplinarians, and you must often decide between tough love and let's sit down and talk approach to dealing with your students. You are business managers and innovators and entrepreneurs who every day are forced to meet higher performance standards with fewer and fewer resources. You're part-time psychologists, clinicians, and nurses. You're referees, mediators, and arbitrators. You have to know the latest technology just to keep ahead of your students. You must be master communicators. You must be team players. You yourself must never lose sight of the fact that you too are a student. For you to be effective in the classroom, you must remain current in your academic discipline. And so you are constantly learning yourself. And in many cases, unfortunately, in many cases, you're a surrogate parent, providing the hope, the love, the encouragement that is often missing from the families of many of our students. As teachers, I like to say, I know this was the case when I was teaching, you often spend more time on your students' papers than they spent on their papers. That's a joke. And as we saw last week in Oklahoma, and as we've seen in Sandy Hook in Connecticut, and as John referenced in his remarks, you have proven time and time again you're willing to give everything. You're willing to give everything for your students. You are heroes. My wife kids me a lot about the last movie I saw, and she says the last movie you saw was Gone with the Wind. Now, some of you all are too young to even remember that. But that's not true. 1984, my first daughter was born. I was babysitting. My wife was out somewhere. And I saw a movie, and I watched the whole thing, stayed awake through the whole movie. And it didn't win any Academy Awards. It didn't win any Golden Globes. It was part comedy, part drama, but I wanted to watch it because the name of the movie was Teachers. And I was a teacher, and so I wanted to see what this movie was about. And so the plot line starts with this. Let me get my glasses if I can find them here. The film starts on a typical Monday morning at JFK High School, okay? The typical events include a fight between teachers, a student with a stab wound, and talk of an upcoming lawsuit. So a lawsuit called the Calvin case has been filed against the school board and the school. And some people got a student to come forward and file this suit, ex-student, former student, graduate of JFK, to file this suit and to say that they were given a degree even though they were illiterate. And so the school board is trying to figure out in the movie, there are a lot of subplots, but the main focus of the movie was the school board is trying to figure out what to do. And so the school board decided that the best thing to do was to try to settle, to minimize the negative publicity. And in a settlement, there would have to be some heads roll, and there would have to be a couple of people who lose their jobs. And so one of the stars of the movie is Nick Nolte, and he plays Alex Jarrell, a teacher, a social studies teacher. And Alex Jarrell had been a longtime teacher, been effective in the classroom, but over years had become sort of worn out and had become a little bit of a rebel rouser within the school. So it was decided that Alex Jarrell was one of the teachers that needed to go. And so he went before the school board, went before the administration, and they provided a lot of reasons why it would be good for him to resign. So he has decided, okay, I've been at this a long time, I'm tired, I'll go ahead and resign. He was walking back to his classroom, and his students for the next class are coming in. And you can see the look in their eyes. In fact, one student says, "You're not going to give up, are you?" And he doesn't say anything. And interestingly, the other character that comes into his room is a former JFK graduate who went on and got her college degree and got her law degree and is the one bringing the suit on behalf of Mr. Calvin. But through this process, she really realizes that the problem isn't Alex Jarrell. That's not the problem at all. In fact, she remembers Alex Jarrell as someone that really helped her. And so what I want to show you is 3 minutes from this movie. And so Alex has been confronted by his students. He's been confronted by the lawyer who said, "Don't give up. You're a teacher, don't give up." But Alex gathers his things, walks out of the classroom, is walking down the hallway. And the lawyer, played by Jo Beth Williams, is following, yelling at him, saying, "Stop, reconsider, reconsider." And he won't listen. So she begins to disrobe. Now, we're not going to show that part of the video. But we're going to pick up right after that. And so.
You are absolutely crazy.
And you are a teacher. Alex Jarrell, a teacher. Don't let them destroy that.
Oh, God. Oh, this. another school. I love this school. Alex, look at this. They're making me resign, Alex.
What the hell are you signed that?
They can't make you resign, Carl.
Huh?
Nobody is resigning.
No? Hey, my car! Hey, that's my car! That's my car!
I'm not gonna resign, Roger.
You're finished. You're out.
Ah, hell, Bert. I'm gonna tell you something. I haven't even started. Now listen, if you try and fire me, I'm gonna be suing you.
What's that going to solve, Alex?
I don't know, Roger, but let's try and find out. The damn school wasn't built for us, Roger. Wasn't built for your unions, your lawyers, all your other institutions. It's built for the kids. They're not here for us. We're here for them. That's what it's about. Kids.
Alex, half of them aren't even coming back after the alarm.
But half will. I think they're worth it.
Jarrell, you're crazy. You know that?
What can I say? I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher.
It's for the kids, and that's what it's all about, and that's what you do every day, and for that we thank you. As I think back over my life, and I think about Fern Creek Elementary School and Fern Creek High School, I remember Mrs. Hearn, and Mrs. Haig, and Mrs. Yankee, Mrs. Brown, Mrs. Collins, Mr. Milkovich, Mrs. Lockhoff, and I could go on and on. They were there for me, and you're there for your students, and for that we thank you. Thank you.
Jim, that's exactly why you were the right person to deliver the very first keynote address at our Teacher Excellence Awards. Thank you again. How about a round of applause for Dr. Jim Ramsey. It's no mystery as to why the University of Louisville is making such great progress under your leadership. Thank you very much. Well, now it's the time we've all been waiting for to recognize, congratulate, and thank our winners. Just by way of process tonight, we're going to have the winners come up and accept their award and then return to their seats, and we're actually going to do pictures immediately following, just in the interest of time. Hilliard Lyons will recognize 5 principals, 5 teachers, and 5 professional learning communities, which are teams of teachers in schools that work collaboratively to advance the district's goals and objectives. In addition, as I mentioned earlier, we have 6 more Teachers Awards that are being sponsored by Fund for the Arts, Metro United Way, Junior Achievement, the YMCA of Greater Louisville, Audwin and Ray Helton, and Ernst & Young. Each of these awards will be presented by representatives of those organization, and each winner was selected by the delivering organization. I think we are so fortunate as a community to have so many outstanding organizations and individuals who truly care, and I think there is such a collaborative spirit in this city. We're going to start by recognizing, also by way of process, the winners. Each of the individual winners get $1,000 for use in their respective schools. The PLCs each get $2,000, and the check is in the mail. So we won't be passing those out this evening. We're trying to earn a little more interest. 0 interest rates right now, but anyhow. So we're going to start by recognizing our 5 professional learning communities, and what I'll do is, as I mention your name, if you'll please come forward, we'll hand you your award and welcome you with a warm round of applause. So we're going to start, and of course, if you didn't have the opportunity to see this out in front of the arena on the video board, all of the awardees are being scrolled through, so hopefully you had a chance. If you didn't, please do so afterwards this evening. So our first recipient is the Lincoln Performing Arts School's Professional Learning Community. There we go. Lisa Goins, Michael Ice, Nanette Jones, Marianne Mattingly, Sheila Riley, and Courtney Smith. Lincoln's PLC is made up of a unique combination of administrators and teachers with a range of expertise. Together, the team boasts of having 102 years of experience which they have used to implement daily school-wide morning meetings to celebrate the diversity and success of students, track student data weekly to ensure that students are meeting and or exceeding proficiency in all areas, decrease the need for reading and math remediation by meeting bi-monthly with sister schools, Western Middle Performing Arts School and the Youth Performing Arts School, to vertically plan transitions between schools and align curriculum between various levels. Nominating Principal Susan French praised this PLC for pioneering efforts to transform the school minds and hearts for the success of our children. This group comes from a variety of backgrounds and experiences, which allows them to work collaboratively as a team to best support students' learning through the use of these diverse talents and abilities. Again, congratulations. Thank you very much. Next, we have Westport Middle School's 8th grade English Language Arts PLC. Jerusha Coleman, Jenny Napier, Melissa Sharon, Heather Weiss, and Sarah Yost. This 5-teacher group continually prioritizes their PLC efforts, often rearranging their students' schedules to protect their team meetings. As a result, this PLC has developed a reputation for knowing the learning style, interests, and current performance levels of each of their students, collaborating to design common assessments for instruction based on research and experience, working to find different after-school learning opportunities for students, and regularly communicating with students and parents via letters, telephone calls, and conferences. Nominating Principal Stacy Edelman explained that these 5 teachers work to move one another forward by becoming a support system for one another. This team has become an invaluable resource for all teachers and departments. Through this PLC, these teachers are reaching their full potential and making impactful contributions to the students and staff at Westport Middle School every day. Congratulations. Next, Central High School Geometry PLC. Ryan Davis, Tiandria Mays, Michelle Timmerman. The 3 teachers that make up this PLC are known for working together to use their PLC as a formal process to support and monitor the use of instructional best practices discovered through school visits and research, test innovative strategies, and examine their effectiveness with different student groups, share data with students and parents to keep all stakeholders aware and accountable. Their nominating principal, Dr. Daniel Withers, noted that this is a group that desires for students to understand, appreciate, and master geometry, a group that does not allow excuses, and a group that builds relationships with students and holds them to high learning standards. Congratulations. Southern High School Teacher Cohort. Auto Collision teacher Tim Blythe, Business teacher Mary Curtis, English teachers Rebecca Cull, Robert Klein, and Christina Sheldon, Math teachers Canna Edison, Chris Kaufman, and Julie Smith, Science teachers Matt Ignash, Carrie Spiegel, and Randy Stearman, Social Studies teachers Allison Moore, Spanish teacher Nate Jebson, and Exceptional Child Education teachers Kelly Bender, Carl Johnson, and Amanda McFarland Smith. Whew, catch my breath on that. Southern's teacher cohort is composed of 16 teachers from 7 subject areas and teaching experience ranging from 2 to 22 years. They have taken on the role of change agent at Southern and have made strides to do so by devoting a minimum of 12 hours per month to professional development centered on leading research, focusing on metacognition in the classroom by encouraging students to set personal learning goals, self-monitor, self-assess, and design plans for self-improvement, and also working on the structural integrity of stages, helping Southern increase the number of college and career-ready students by 10% this school year and the graduation rate by nearly 8% in 2011 and 2012 school year. Nominating principal Bryce Hibbard described the teachers in this PLC as true team players in every sense of the word. They do not accept defeat, they do not accept failure, they do not accept negativity when approaching school improvement goals. When called to assist students, parents, administrators, teachers within the school or community members, these teachers jointly and independently strive for goals set before them without complaint. Congratulations. Next we have the Westport TAP Teenage Parent Program Mathematics PLC. Math teachers Michael Bell, Juliette Brewster, and Jessica White, and exceptional child education teacher Courtney Schuster. This PLC is comprised of educators who each teach a different math subject and have between 4 and 30 years of experience. Their remarkable efforts include dismantling the "we're doing the best we can" stereotype often prescribed to alternative schools by significantly increasing individualized attention to each student and focusing on tailored interventions, turning obstacles like the one having one teacher per subject area into assets by inviting the fresh opinions of outside eyes, implementing pull-out sessions for math during which teachers give up their planning periods to work one-on-one with students struggling with specific standards. Assistant Principal Sean Fick noted that these teachers' diligence, desire, and dedication to making the PLC a viable part of their practice is nothing short of amazing. While other groups have a blueprint from PLCs and how to study data to improve practices, these four had to make it work without shared data, thus proving that a PLC is moldable, a changeable living thing, and not just something you do. They do not have PLCs, they are a PLC. Congratulations. As we move now to the teacher category, first up, Karen Kruger, Lure Elementary School. Karen began her career with JCPS in 1985 and has been the fourth grade team math teacher for the past 4 years. Her work is tirelessly focused on increasing student learning by providing interventions and enrichment activities according to each student's needs. The effectiveness of her efforts was obvious when all three of Lure's fourth grade classes saw at least an 81% growth on 2000 state math assessments. Karen's fellow educators say that what makes her such a remarkable, innovative teacher is simply her commitment to use every minute she has with her kids to teach using the best strategies available. She is proof positive that high-quality teaching is the most powerful tool for helping students reach high standards. Karen, congratulations. Laura Keeling, Tully Elementary School. After teaching at Jacob and Lockeff Elementary schools, Laura joined the staff at Tully, where she has been for 13 years. As the Learning Lab teacher, Laura supports JCPS science and literacy curriculum by implementing the Engineering is Elementary program and Lego robotics. She challenges students daily to problem solve through hands-on, inquiry-based cooperative work. Laura also works closely with JCPS partners, including the University of Louisville Speed School, and continues to receive grants from organizations such as the Boston Museum of Science. Her nominators noted that you cannot walk into her class without instantly becoming motivated yourself. Between the learning community she has built with her students, her high expectations for learning, and love of teaching, you can see why coming to the Learning Lab is a favorite amongst Tully students. And she has a Hilliard Lyons connection. Her father was Bob Gunter, for those of you from Hilliard Lyons who retired in 2000. So this is very special. And she grew up working there too, so congratulations. Thank you. Mary McCarty, Frederick Law, Olmsted North Middle School. Mary has taught language arts for JCPS for 11 years at Thomas Jefferson Middle School and Olmsted North. Her peers explained that when Mary joined the staff at Olmsted North, the school was in the process of restoring order to a school in distress. This did not deter Mary. She jumped in and faced the situation head-on, determined to reach children deemed unreachable. She has played a major role in the school's transformation. She led the priority school turnaround efforts in the language arts department, spearheaded the school's Rising Star after-school program focused on reading and math, and worked with families and community members to remove obstacles facing Olmsted North students. Her nominators noticed that it is such a great experience to walk into her classrooms today and see how much has taken place socially, emotionally, and academically. The students are engrossed in learning, and they work hard to meet her expectations every day. Congratulations, Mary. Jennifer Powell, Wagner High School. Jennifer is in her fifth year of teaching math and science at Wagner High School, where she is currently the math department chair. She served on the committee that developed and pioneered Wagner's standards-based grading policy and led the math department to creating a mission statement centered on each student graduating with critical thinking, problem solving, and logical reasoning skills to pursue any college or career path. Jennifer has also made presentations on formative assessment to the entire Wagner faculty. One of her students remarked that you don't let anyone fail your class. You care about our grades, and I appreciate all that you do for me. Meanwhile, Jennifer's nominators noted that she works to improve her craft every day and inspires those around her to do the same. She is the picture of hard work and determination, balanced with an openness to innovate and an ability to be flexible. Congratulations, Jennifer. Justin Meek, the Brook KMI School. Justin teaches math to students in grades 6 through 12 with a range of learning styles and exceptionalities. Reaching each of these diverse students requires a special educator with powerful dedication. Justin is just that. He is also the high school mathematics department chair for state schools and leads the school's professional learning community in aligning targets with the Common Core curriculum, accurately assessing learning targets and utilizing intervention strategies. In the classroom, Justin has maximized instructional time by establishing rituals and routines to ensure all students feel a sense of safety, security, and belonging. His peers explain that Justin discovers students' likes, goals, and challenges and believes that the school is not just about academics, but getting to know students individually so he can help them plan for the future and become productive members of society. Congratulations, Justin. Next, we have the Principals Division. Anna Bird, principal of Crumbs Lane Elementary School. Anna has served Jefferson County Public Schools for more than 30 years in roles including teacher, counselor, curriculum writer, and principal. Her commitment to the goals outlined in the strategic plan, Vision 2015, is exemplified by the accomplishments that Crumbs Lane has seen during her administration. These include a sharp rise in state assessment scores, the addition of after-school extended learning opportunities, and the development of numerous community and business partnerships with the Air National Guard, Fresh Fruits and Vegetables Program, and Target, among others. Her nominators noted that the students honestly believe that she lives at the school. If Anna Bird is not in the classroom reading a book, in the cafeteria opening milk cartons, in the library leading the morning newscast, or talking to parents, she is looking for a new way to facilitate learning for each student. Her enthusiasm, professionalism, and dedication to children are evident in every aspect of Crumbs Lane Elementary School. Congratulations, Anna. Rob Stevenson, principal of Farnsley Middle. Rob's leadership became apparent early in his career when, as a chemistry and biology teacher, he served as the science department chair, a member of the Site-Based Decision-Making Council, and as Principals for Tomorrow program participant. Now, as principal at Farnsley Middle, he has centered the school's efforts on the focus areas around Vision 2015 by initiating the 2x10 program to encourage personal relationships with at-risk students, implementing professional learning communities for teachers, utilizing innovative science, technology, and math, or STEM education opportunities, and building strong partnerships with businesses like American Synthetic Rubber Company, who funded a new computer lab. His staff notes that Mr. Stevenson's leadership style reflects the district's core values. He provides faculty, staff, and students with a positive role model. He exemplifies the expectations he has for others in charge. He is continually out of his office, in the classrooms, and in the halls, providing feedback on instruction and helping teachers with hallway behavior. He is involved in the daily workings of the school on every level. Congratulations, Rob. Dr. Houston McLean Barber, principal of Fern Creek Traditional High School. Even early in his education career, Houston led his fellow teachers by developing and implementing a new curriculum for the 9th grade Principles of Science coursework in his district. Now, as principal of Fern Creek Traditional, he has effectively employed the strategies in the strategic plan, Vision 2015, to help build a model response to intervention program in partnership with the University of Louisville, which will be explored at state and national conferences, continues to improve state assessment scores over an extended period of time, and develop student and parent advisory councils, teacher leader teams, and instructional leadership and design teams, all focused on moving students to greater proficiency. A nominator noted that he is recognized as an innovative school and community leader within JCPS at the University of Louisville and by the Kentucky Department of Education. He models honesty, integrity, and fairness in his actions, and the school reflects his leadership. Congratulations, Houston. Dr. Marty Polio, principal of Jeffersontown High School. The strides Jeffersontown High School has made since Marty became principal in 2007 speak for themselves. State assessment scores increased in all content areas within his first 5 years as principal, and ACT composite scores have also increased over a 5-year period. He has implemented a system of professional career academies through which every student chooses a pathway to reach graduation with a diploma and industry certification and/or dual college credit. Partnerships between Jeffersontown and the community businesses have grown to include companies such as General Electric, Ford, UPS, and Nthworks. Marty's nominators also highlighted that he has increased enrollment by 45% over 4 years. This is evidence that students and educators alike see the incredible opportunities open to them at Jeffersontown. Marty's passion for improving the lives of young people in our community is undeniable. Congratulations, Marty. Last and certainly not least among the principals, Michelle Dillard, principal of Seneca High School. Michelle's dedication to achievement at Seneca is nothing short of inspiring. She stepped into the principal role determined to help her staff and students turn obstacles into opportunities, and she has done just that by improving planned ACT growth at a higher rate than the state average, significantly increasing the number of career-ready students and industry certifications obtained, and providing teachers frequent opportunities to learn from each other along with the school district, state, and national professional development opportunities. Community nominators spoke to the fact that Michelle was challenged to prepare her students for a rapidly changing world which requires rethinking and reimagining Seneca from an instruction to physical space to time and spirit. To meet these challenges, she adapted ahead of the curve thinking, creating a mock courtroom, hanging college flags, designing a reality store, and building partnerships with her business community, among many other things. Congratulations to Michelle.
Thank you, Jim. Ray and I are pleased, Jim, that you allowed us to present this award. One of the many partners that we have working with JCPS is the Greater Louisville Association of Black School Educators, and I'm proud to say that our own chairman, Diane Porter, is the past president of that organization. Geneva Price is now president. So Ray and I asked Jim if we could recognize a member of GLASP, and he graciously allowed us to do so. And the recipient of the award is Bianca Nightingale Lee. So Bianca, would you come forward? With 10 years of intermediate teaching, primary teaching, Bianca has been involved with Fairdale and has created several organizations, one of which she named for herself, the Bianca Nightingale Lee Scholars, I believe, something close. And so we're proud. She also has instituted United Nations within the school, and her peers describe her as very energetic and very motivation, teaches a lot of motivation to her kids. So we want to thank you for accepting this award. Congratulations.
Actually, the Ernst & Young Award will be presented by, you're looking at him, Dave Calsey could not be with us this evening, and Dave, unfortunately, they had a Ernst & Young event, and it took all of their executives out, so I'm handling that for Dave this evening. The Ernst & Young Excellence in Accounting / Business Teaching Award goes to Tom Watson from Southern High School. Tom is a 5-year business teaching veteran with a background in private sector business operations, including accounting, sales, marketing, and human resources. In 2012, he was chosen to lead the startup of Southern High's branch of Class Act Federal Credit Union. The academic and personal growth his students have shown in their first year as Class Act Academy students is proof positive of his abilities as an educator, leader, motivator, and role model. Tom's students have been given the invaluable opportunity not only to gain rare real-world experience with actual bank customers and professional computer systems, but to broaden their financial literacy, which will have a lasting impact on their lives. This would not be possible without Tom, whose peers explain that the individual positive developments of his students are evident, indicative of the hard, focused work he has put in over the past year. He is an incredible asset to the Southern family. Congratulations, Tom.
Jim, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to participate. Serving 30,000 JCPS students a year, you can imagine that for us to choose an Educator of the Year, it was pretty hard. We had a great debate, and I'd like to invite Jamie Baxter. She is the Louisville Education and Employment Partnership Planner at PRP. Jamie, please come forward. This spring, Jamie worked tirelessly with Junior Achievement to arrange to send the entire 150 Pleasure Ridge Park seniors to a job shadowing event at sites including Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Business First, D.D. Williamson, Sullivan University, UPS, WHAS TV, and others. She is a passionate, and you can just tell, can't you? She's a passionate and strong supporter who went above and beyond because this was a new effort. She had to make sure that everyone in the school was informed and bought into the kids leaving and going to a business for an entire morning, and also making sure that the preparatory lessons were delivered so that the kids were ready to take advantage of the opportunity they had. She is an amazing person. We at Junior Achievement and her peers at PRP have seen that Jamie is dedicated to help students connect the dots between the high school classroom and the regional workplace. Her efforts will impact the future of her students and the future of our community. Jamie, thank you.
Jim, I know tonight is about our teachers and our educators, and I would like to invite to join me on the stage at this time to receive the first annual Fun for the Arts Collaborative Arts Award to none other than Debbie Rutledge Lockyer from, Debbie, where are you? Debbie, come on up here, from Hartstern Elementary. Debbie is part of a team along with all of the other employees and staff, teachers, and administration of the Jefferson County Public Schools that runs the most successful United Arts Fund campaign by a public school system in the entire United States of America. And Debbie, your efforts helped generate close to $250,000 in contributions made out of their hard-earned paychecks to support the arts in our community. It's because of the work that Debbie does. She takes children on school trips, on field trips, to the performing arts, to the visual arts. She brought more than 8 different arts organizations into her school just to work with the students. She understands the value of music in the math class. She understands the importance of drama in the history class. She knows what it means to bring a visual artist into a science room and watch those test scores up. She tries to convince her coworkers to do the same that she has done. This last year, Debbie, standing before you, is the mastermind of the Peace Mural Project. This was a vision that she had to teach all the children that she works with the value and the importance of compassion. She asked the children to express what peace means to each of them through their visual artwork, through their song, through their dance, through their writing. She dreamed this project, and that is all there for all of us to see. So Debbie, I have one last thing for you. Tonight is all about the children, as Dr. Ramsey shared with us through the 3-minute video of the movie that I had not seen. I brought a thank you letter from one of the students at Hartstern Elementary. She made it possible for these students to hear the Louisville Orchestra, and it says, "Thank you so much for making it possible to see the great orchestra. My favorite part was when they played Yankee Doodle. I'll never forget this experience. I didn't know xylophones were in the orchestra. Thank you." And there is Yankee Doodle. All right, Debbie Rutledge Lockyer.
I just think it's fabulous that the community is coming together to give some expression to how much we value you. And we believe at Metro United Way that you can't do it without community involvement. And so we're dedicated to that. And one of the ways we're dedicated to that is by helping to build an ever more powerful out-of-school time system. And so we're very thrilled to be able to present the first annual Metro United Way Out-of-School Time Excellence Award to Christine Deely, Klondike Elementary School Principal. Christine. As principal at Klondike, Christine has devoted intentional time and effort to providing out-of-school time opportunities for her students and their families. She has partnered with the National Center for Family Literacy Toyota Family Literacy Project, which has welcomed families involved at Klondike Elementary. The program was located at Butyl United Methodist Church and designed to increase academic skills for hard-to-reach populations of children and their parents. From the beginning, she gave her full support, welcoming parents into the classrooms and encouraging staff to do the same. She's described by all who know her as committed to utilizing the support of parents and community members, including outside organizations, to meet school and district goals. One parent really summed it all up when she said, "I truly feel welcomed at Klondike. Everybody knows my name, and I don't have to be afraid anymore." Congratulations.
And you've heard all the stories about Hilliard Lyons and Jim Allen, and he's our immediate past board chair at the Y, and we actually we're sharing our 160th year of service with Hilliard Lyons with the YMCA here in town this year. But what you haven't heard about Jim Allen, and I've had multiple conversations with him, he has a relentless commitment to recognizing the positive messages that come out of our school system. And that, I know that is part of the heart of this event tonight. So we're pleased to be a part of that. When we were offered the opportunity to take a look at the possibility of participating in this award, we were not looking for just a partner. We were looking for a collaborative leader that had shared goals for children and families, someone who looked beyond just sharing space with the YMCA. And we found that in Dr. John Ansman, principal of Tully Elementary School. John's commitment to youth development is paramount to the success of the YMCA Child Care Enrichment Program at Tully Elementary. As principal, Dr. Ansman has been a pillar of support for the Y's efforts to create a space that encourages educational enrichment, healthy and active student participants, and socially responsible individuals. His open-door policies illustrate exemplary commitment to supporting the needs of our future generations, and his continued flexibility allows unprecedented success to collaborative use of resources and a holistic approach to serving both children and their families. For example, and this is going to sound like a really simple thing, but it's really a major deal in terms of serving families. John always ensures that there is space at Tully Elementary for families needing care the week before school actually begins, because that's cleanup time for the school. But he lets us in there because that's what the families need. And he understands that the families depend on child care to be a seamless and continuous service available every week throughout the year. So it's clear to all those that work with John that he is a perfect example of a caring adult role model with reciprocal high expectations. He encourages and embodies positive and adaptive leadership. His commitment to the Y reverberates throughout his overall commitment to the children and to the community. He appreciates every child and works to remove any barriers that might impede their potential. So on behalf of the YMCA of Greater Louisville, and obviously with thanks to his wife Holly, we congratulate Dr. John Ansman.
I think you heard it with our community leaders and community partners, this collaborative spirit and this sense of commitment to working together in the community. And as we talk about the schools and our success in the future that we want to build, this really is a community issue and something that we all need to rally around. And that was really the inspiration for this event, is aligning the community in support of what we want to accomplish with our teachers and our school system. So again, it's a great turnout. You could see the interest that we have with Congressman John Yarmouth being present, and Mayor Greg Fisher and Jim Ramsey as our keynote. There is real community support, so we want this to be the first of many of events of this nature. One of the things that we've been able to rally around as a community is the leadership of Dr. Donna Hargens, who's about to celebrate her second full year as our superintendent. And let me give you just a little bit of background on Donna before we invite her to wrap it up this evening. Prior to her appointment, she served as the Wake County Public School System in Raleigh, North Carolina for 22 years in a variety of positions that included Chief Academic Officer, Interim Superintendent, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, Area Superintendent, and Principal of 2 high schools. She's done it all. Among her educational qualifications are graduating summa cum laude with a BA from Marquette University, earning an MED in Educational Administration and Supervision from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and being awarded an ED in doctorate in Educational Leadership Management and Policy from Seton Hall University in New Jersey. A native of Milwaukee, Dr. Hargens began her career as a teacher of Spanish and English. Married with 2 adult children, she is a voracious reader and proponent of physical fitness. As superintendent of JCPS, Dr. Hargens' focus is on raising student achievement for all children, and she is relentless in expecting staff to collect and analyze data in order to inform their decisions. Her leadership style is grounded in collaboration, and she devotes extensive time to listening to staff, parents, and community to gain their perspective and insights before making recommendations that will impact the operation of the district and the performance of its students. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Donna Hargens.
I always say I'm proud to be the superintendent of Jefferson County Public School, but tonight I'm especially proud. What a wonderful evening. Tonight we all had the opportunity to see what I get to see every day along with our employees. Teachers and administrators working together to ensure that all students graduate prepared. When the district accreditors came into our district in January and recommended us for national district accreditation, they said the most powerful thing in Louisville is our community and the partnerships that we have. So I want to thank all the community partners that are here tonight. But there is no more powerful partner in our community than the University of Louisville under Dr. James Ramsey's leadership. The first time I met him, he said, "I don't care what the question is, the answer is education." Students are truly the center of our universe. So it is great to celebrate the people that touch lives directly every day. And I'm so fortunate to work with a Board of Education and members of a Board of Education that truly have what's best for students and what's best for schools at the center of every conversation. You also had a glimpse into why I feel very confident when I say that it is possible, it is probable for us to become the best urban district in the country. With the continued dedication of leaders in this room and teachers in this room, teacher leaders, I'm confident that the goal is within our reach. While there are many people in this room who deserve our gratitude for making the evening possible, none is more deserving than Mr. Jim Allen, the chair and CEO of Hilliard Lyons. When Mr. Allen contacted me shortly before the holidays and asked me what I thought about this type of event, little did I know that that idea and that conversation would result in all of this. Jim is passionate about education in children and helping JCPS achieve its goal. Albert Einstein once said, "Try not to become a man of success. Rather become a man of value." Jim Allen is that rare individual that has been able to achieve both qualities, a person of success and a man of value. That is why I'm pleased to announce that JCPS is establishing the Jim Allen Award to recognize outstanding individuals who are committed to public education, have achieved high levels of success, and more importantly, have become a person of value and a role model for all of our students. Jim, if you would like to come forward, I'd like to present this award to you on behalf of more than 101,000 students. And what I have to tell you is this award is very special because it was designed and produced by the students of Jeffersontown High School in recognition of Jim's many, many contributions. So again, thank you, Jim Allen.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Hargens, and all of my friends at JCPS. I think I was mentioned in the same sentence with Albert Einstein for the one and only time that'll ever happen in my life. So I'll take that, though. Thank you very much. But I tell you, what a great turnout tonight. I want to say thank you to our sponsors. I want to say thank you to the team at Hilliard Lyons, my colleagues, for embracing this evening in the way that we have. It has actually turned out to be exactly what we hoped it would be, pay tribute to the great teachers and the great leaders within the Jefferson County Public Schools who are going to make a difference for the future of our community. So I'd like to just say one more time, how about a round of applause for all of our honorees this evening. And I can tell you that this event for next year will already be bigger. We've already had other individuals step up and ask to be sponsors in the future. So we look forward on building on this very first year. And again, want to say congratulations to all of our honorees. Thank you to the leadership of JCPS. Want to say thank you to Sandy Livers on my team at Hilliard, who's worked tirelessly to put this evening together, along with Dana Shoemate and her team at JCPS for their help and coordination. The great artwork was the work of JCPS, and so the graphic design, and so really something we're really excited about and will obviously use going forward. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you. Congratulations to our winners.